afternoon, everyone. I'm Asha, a social worker from India, and please be patient with me because I'm not that much comfortable with the language I was using, and I will start my presentation now. As a starting, I think this was a completely new method of learning for me, and review of learning itself was a new term for me because I doesn't know what this review of learning means. And then I thought, anyway, review is meaning something we are reviewing again what we already reviewed. So it will be something which I had learned past, and I have to review all the past things which I have learned. That was my understanding of my ROL. And after discussions with the peers, with the program leader, and I come to the statement of purpose, that is to get registration from Social Work Registration Board of New Zealand. As a social worker from India, I need a registration here to continue my profession here. So I need a registration as my purpose. And as my intended outcome, I prefer, it was a publishing of a journal on a comparative study of medical and psychiatric social work in India and New Zealand, and which I think it will give me a chance to review all things I had learned from India, and what I can learn what's happening here in that specific area here in New Zealand. So that I can find out the gaps which I am lacking to make me fit here in New Zealand. As a process of getting me into this statement of purpose and outcome, I had gone through around 6 stages, I think. And the first stage is surely what I explained, as I explained before, what is I think about what ROL and what it is going to be like. That was the first stage. And the second stage was surely the confusions, because I know I want to be a social worker here also. That I was very sure before coming here, and but I doesn't know that I can make it as a statement for a course as a purpose, and that was a new experience for me. And after these confusions, I went to the third stage. That is, I went to the Social Work Registration Board, and I came to know what all requirements they need from me to get the registration. So after that, I find out that some of my buddies are also like-minded in my class, so we all grouped together. We went to Dr. Alexandria, we talked with her, and after the discussions, that was the first stage, we come out to the conclusion that we had to find out some placement to meet the time criteria that is required by the Social Work Registration Law. That is about 2,000 hours of experience in New Zealand itself. We need to get the registration here. And to do HUB 8000 as a workout towards the registration for the Social Work Registration Board, and to do the negotiative studies as the course requirement demanded by the Social Work Registration Board. That was the result of the discussion. And after this stage, I went to the implementation level, because I went through so many organizations and some of the schools to get to know whether I will get a voluntary placement there as a social worker. And also I did my non-binding assessment with Social Work Registration Board, so that they recognized my qualification as equal to the New Zealand qualification for the purpose of registration. And the sixth stage is about making the statement of the outcome. And as the statement of purpose is getting the registration, I thought it will be the outcome will be the registration from the social registration board, but the outcome has to be something solid in hand that we can get out from this course. So that was not a practical thing to get a registration within these months. So we go out for a realistic outcome, and that was a journal, which I told before, a comparative study of medical and psychiatric social work in India and New Zealand. About the approach of reflection, I would like to mention it as Dr. Hart's reflective approach, because I came to know about John Dewey's work from her lectures and from her literature. And when I go through that literature and when I attended her classes, I understood that the way of my reflection is something suited with that way of approach. So I chose that one. And my approach of reflective practice is also the same thing, because when I go through the literatures, I find that there are certain stages in this process. For John Dewey's approach, there are certain stages that like observation, getting focused on, getting to a conclusion, and finally the action. And by learning myself, I know that my way of learning is something like that only. I always learn from the past experience by evaluating my past experiences. And the process of reflection. The process of reflection is like what are they? Like when I heard that the term reflection itself was a new term for me. Maybe I heard that, but I never thought about such a word. When I heard this as a main thing in this course, it makes me very uncomfortable, because I don't know what this reflection is and what this reflective process is. But when I came through the lectures and through the literatures, I understood that it is something which I have already doing, but not in this name. So, for getting know more about this reflection, I took a book from the library, but I forgot the name of the book. But that thing makes me more uncomfortable with the reflection. So, I was really disturbed. But when I go through the lectures and go through this literature which she had put in our debate graph, I feel that I am more comfortable with this approach. So, I went to the John Dewey's approach. If I take my ROL process as an example for the reflective practice, I can see all these stages, because when I came here, I was completely in a liminality. I didn't know what to do. I want to get a job, but I don't want to change my profession. But if I have to get into a work, I will have to get a registration. So I was completely in a liminality. So I think I went to other people's, like program leaders, to peers. I talk with many friends who are working in the social work field, from whom I can get help. And I think that was the observation level. Then I go through the process of getting into a focused area. That was after all the discussions and all, I find out that I have to focus on my registration only, then only I can move on my profession. And after that, I think we started to think about the outcome. So many hypotheses, like we had put statements like we will get the registration as the outcome. So many things, we will do the professional development of the outcome. So many things we had put, and finally we come to a realistic goal like a journal publication. So I'm starting now in the action part, and I have to work more on it. about the reflective evaluation of my participation in this course. If I tell truly, I had put my head and tail into this course because I doesn't know anything about this course from the moment when I start this. But now I know I have moved so much forward and I'm progressing on this. Thank you.
But then I need to go for any questions afterwards.